There's not another way. For instance, somebody else from Yucatan wants it to be inside, pay like a rent, The park, they don't do that. You have to demonstrate that you're from the outskirts town, see, not to be able to be selling inside your own hand crabs. Obviously with the parents, that's what we do. My town, Piste, it's well known in Yucatan because we supply Maya Riviera stores like Cancun, Playa, Tulum. We had a problem like a few years ago. Made in China artifacts.
Yeah.
So that's why in Chichen Itza, the ones who sell inside things, they have to be the artists. See the people, crowds. This is the west facade. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the sun will be setting in front of this facade. That's why it remains lined up by the sun. But the main facade facing towards the north, the sun will be not setting there. Due to the special alignment, it looks dark. That's why it will be easier to observe when the sunlight that it's like setting or planet spinning. 4:05, 4:10, 4:15, every 5 minutes from the top to the bottom on the profile of the main staircase. It will be like light and shadow that will be creating an optical illusion, like a snake flying back from heaven to the earth. And then there's a snake head not visible here that will also get lined up. It will make will make sense, You don't have to ask to somebody what everybody are guessing that are watching for. Seems like there's something used in that temple. See, as a ladder from heaven to the earth, flying back from heaven. Well,
So
you know
cool.
what that counts for us? That the soil gets fertile. See, next day stand to rain. If you stand to plant from March to September, you will have good crops. Well, works for money, no? Because with the money we buy, the right order should be water, food, then the other things. We're not gonna eat or drink money, bills, no? It's all about comida. So that's why no Tulum, no Cobá, no Uxmal. I'm just talking about some of the other Maya sites from Yucatan. Chichen Itza became as like the capital, talking about religious activities, because inside we have the rain god living at the bottom, see, and fertility god, the snake. Snakes, you know what they do? Previously, weather start changing, they shed their skin. Pídeme del cenote. I will show you about the cenote. No, este. That's what I mentioned to you, amigo. 7 years ago, thanks to a sonar, I'm based to a local legend who mentioned that the reason why they used to designate this place to be Chichen Itza in the mouth of the well of the water magician because of the cenote. But the first archaeologists, they thought in something logical. It's impossible. They gave us that example, Italy Pizza Tower. But 7 years ago with a sonar, they discovered that there's a cenote. This is a picture, I'm on like 100 of them. See that you can, in internet, see it. That's why in the mouth of the cenote, the lab on top of it, the main temple, there's a special connection. In between, there's an inner temple. Let me just show you.
Inner temple.
There's an inner
that.
temple.
I was reading about that in the internet.
They used to build up another building, more or less like this one.
That is a smaller, right?
See, smaller. But in between inner and outer, it's hollow. Hollow, you know why? It's starting to make sense just recently. If you're going to build up something awfully heavy on top of something hollow, as a good architect, you have a huge problem. Your temple might collapse because we'll be resting on top of something hollow. They used to save 200 tons less of weight. See why? Because they used to have a building on top of another building, but the top roof of the inner temple, it's basically the top floor of the outer temple. And in between both buildings, it's hollow. They used to save 200 tons. How do you know about that? And that's why its alignment of that temple still today remains pretty much intact. How we know about that? The snake image. Plus that there's no earthquakes in Yucatan.
No,
So 2,000 kilometers away from here, we have then the closest tectonic plates to Yucatan. So that's why that never, we don't know what an earthquake, how, and we don't want it to leave, We just have then hurricanes. The stone wall, see it over there? I'm already at the beginning show you the other section, see? Remember that the main temple at the center of Chichen Itza, stone floor. Most of the stones are close by. What I mean is that these people also identify another problem. What are we gonna do when we have a hurricane? We're gonna get like a laguna, a flood. Under the ground, they were identifying when they used to explore, when they used to, to investigate about the cenote with the same technology, the sonar, they discovered that there are 13 drainage systems under the ground. In certain points, I'm gonna show you like potholes, capture water, send it to those, like in our plazas, downtowns, and all the ends ends somewhere close by on a natural depression.
And go to the cenote.
And then go to the cenotes. So see, Muy bien.
You understand that?
But see this. As I mentioned, it's not a shopping tour, but I'm thinking that this is super important. Observe the sun with an eye with this. This is a weapon, or used to be most powerful weapon if you know how to use it.
Ah, cool.
Because with that stone, obsidian, most of them prefer to design weapons to kill or force people to work as a slaves to them. But with that stone, on good hands, knowledge in good hands, you can do. They did magic, the main temple, but they had to spend two or three generations, almost 200 years took them to be able to design that temple. They had to explore.
Yeah, I'll come
study the
back when we're
sun
done.
using that mirror, because otherwise you will get blind.
This is finished.
But in good hands, instead of weapons, they were able to design that magical. It's a weapon if you know how to use it. See, that's why Maya language doesn't exist.
After I'm done the tour, I'll come back.
Thanks to this mirror, they were able to design the main temple. They showed them a magical event, design it thanks to that mirror. And all what they used to promise occurs next day. In September, people came so happy.
I'm gonna wait.
Good crops, you know, holy image appears. Then from the top floor, they told them, if you help us to build a new building or restore, no, my building, we're all gonna be working
I wanna finish
for our
with them
gods.
first.
They exist and they're good ones. See, when you're done, your spirit will never die. We'll be getting into the heavens, and your gift will be, because you used to collaborate, you know, and our gods are watching you. Heavens, that's the origin of the fiesta that we call Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, at least for us. Nothing, it's free. They used to pay for it.
Huh?
For another continuation, another life. That's the tree that I mentioned, amigos.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, the Mayans more simple, like a cross. Who lives at the center, in between, and also Mayans used to represent in this way, like balance, like yin yang. We should try to be in the middle. It will be good things, but also bad things. We have to be ready too, because as a human beings, they will occur. If you were not prepared to leave, you know, some of those we sometimes do things, you know, that then we're gonna.
Yeah.
You know how it works.
Just like life. Good things, bad things. Saw a squirrel?
Yeah. By the way, see the rain got face. The rain got see both eyes. See the nose?
Oh yeah.
As I'm already mentioned, comment to you, they were founded in Yucatan, not just one. Like elephants, how we can explain, you know, they never used to coexist with our ancestors, talking about civilization, no, pre-Mayas, 9 to 10,000 years ago.
Wow.
See, that's how they were able to develop this civilization, but at the beginning, they were not enough natural resources in Yucatan to develop a civilization. Legends mention that hunting little mammals, they used to follow them, and that's how they used to be able to get to South America. That's why it's not a coincidence why Tikal in Guatemala is considered like the oldest Maya site. There's plenty of everything there to develop Maya civilization. That's why they often used to visit Yucatan to Thanksgivings, you know, to that cat who lives in Yucatan. It's weird because there's no water at the surface, but there's a subterranean world complete full of water. Xibalba, we call the name of that place, where the rain god, it's like the main god. So that's why where are you going this time? To the place where there's no water, Yucatan Peninsula. Mayan Ha, through different generations, repetition, from Mayan Ha turning into a single word who sounds like Mayas. Doesn't mean nothing, Mayas, but Mayan Ha, we know the origin of that Maya word because of local legends here and there too.
Yeah, cool.
So Mayas from Mayan Ha, there is not water.
That's crazy.
This
how
is
that
the
happens.
place.
Yeah.
No, ahorita voy a venir a camp, pero puro Otimac probably. Esta
Ah, this is pretty. You're a great tour guide. You got a lot of info. That's awesome.
I'm just preparing you because then more photos,
Yeah.
more. But I like to do that what we did, you know, because in that way, at least to me, makes more sense. Why here?
Yeah.
Why not in another place like Tulum? Imagine Tulum's main temple in front of the.
Yeah.
But no, here.
So this Chichen Itza was like the capital,
See,
and
but-
Tulum was like another
Super
city.
important for business, you know, because most of the another like religious center. People when they need to get to South America to travel, they had to visit Tulum and spend 2-3 days. I mean, days and nights, to be protected by their God who lives there.
So question: Chichen Itza in Tulum both had civilization at the same time?
They used to coexist more or
They
less
did?
at the
Yeah,
same
coexist?
time. We know about that because the roll that I show you,
Yeah.
there's one of them who starting in Tulum, ends in Koba. Koba starts another one who ends Yashuna, another Maya site, 20 kilometers away from here. And the roll that we saw there, it's the one who starts in Yashuna and ends in Chichen Itza. So
Gotcha.
they had a special connection
Okay.
with our place, you know, Tulum, Koba, Uxmal, Lamna, Sail. That's why the center, easier, the same distance, you know, people from there, people from the different kind of points, they didn't have to walk twice as more than the other ones.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's a strategical point for develop this place. Primos, talking about
this.
Tulum, they were found, you know, this is a replica of little boats, you know, found, and they were no good sailors, no sails, you know, just
Yeah.
small boats with rolls. But I mean, people who came from far away to visit Chichen Itza, when they done, something important used to occur. Most of them wanted to visit Cozumel, the island,
yeah.
to worship the only goddess that we call Shell. Women's in all aspects were associated, and they used to worship, you know, and to please for favors, first labor, you know, for their kids, to that, the only goddess, you know, representing giving. I mean, our people used to represent her giving birth. Así la representamos, and they needs to use them. Not somebody needs to took them cross the, and that's what they're representing.
And you made this?
See,
Oh my God.
as I mentioned to you, they have to be the artist. Rule number one: if he show you his fingers, like, see.
Cuéntame qué estás haciendo.
Ah,
Okay.
primo, ¿puedo
Oh.
agarrar esto solo para mostrar?
Wow.
They used to play on a stadium that we're gonna visit with these
Oh wow. It feels
rubber
like
balls.
rubber.
You see, from rubber trees.
Oh, the
sap-
trees, yeah.
The trees, you know,
Yeah,
rubber
yeah.
trees, rubber balls.
That's what I was telling you about.
Yeah. ¿Cuánto tiempo te lleva hacer un...
Goodyear, famous, you know, I mean, the tires. He used to visit Yucatan. Actually, the owner of the 3-5-star hotel, see, Mr. Thompson.
That's right, yeah.
He
I think
bought
I've heard
Chichen
that.
Itza.
Firestone or
And among
something,
different friends, Mr. Thompson, you know, Goodyear, he used to be a friend of him. There's a Model T number 3, black one with Goodyear's tire. There's
Yeah.
a famous picture in front of the main temple.
Uh-huh.
The car in between Goodyear and on the other side, Mr. Thompson.
Yeah.
And the tire Goodyear. This guy, you know, Goodyear, you know, used to investigate in Yucatan why Mayas used to collect the sap of that tree, rubber trees. They used to make this kind of like rubber balls who bounce it because they used to vulcanize. So Goodyear then, you know, he never used to charge, you know, like regards their parents are, but he was able to identify, see, I mean, how rubber
Yeah.
would just resist, you know, something that Mayans at least 2,000 years ago, they already knew about that. If you wanted to use that sap, the sap of that tree in order to play, you will kick it, hit it, it will not get disintegrated, you need to vulcanize. These people knew about it 2,000 years ago.
Wow. That's crazy.
Nah, esa máquina está chida.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
See? Two facades that they haven't been restored really, or the stones were stolen. And in this case, we're talking about restorations, not reconstructions. How you